battery there. There we go. I'm going to be installing this AM antenna on it. This little antenna right here. I did solder it in place. I soldered the main connection here to this. The old crimp was broken, where the old wiring crimp, which is you know, one of these is going to your base of your antenna. And what happened is the old ground wire came off, so I put a new one on there. And today we're going to try to get this installed and then put this on to our truck. So today I'm going to show you how you can install one of these, and it's real easy to do on this truck, and it'll really, so I don't know 100% time it works, but sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to get you guys set up, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do to install this AM antenna. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is there's a little plastic trimming right here, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pry up until that comes out. There's only 3 clips holding it on. Then you're going to want to slide that out. It's just this little trimming right here. You can see there's 1, 2, there's 3 clips that hold these on. Do not lose these clips. These go into your antenna. Next thing you're going to want to do, you're going to need to get a 7mm socket, just like this. Then you're going to want to find a place where your bolt goes into. And for me, I'm just going to put it over here on this portion right here. So what you're going to want to do, take that wire out, you're going to want to loosen that bolt up. And the next part is probably straightforward. The wind just picked up. You're going to want to loosen that bolt. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to put your crimp connection on the top of your antenna. It doesn't matter if you put it on the top or the bottom of your antenna, just as long as you've got a ground connection making contact to the base of your antenna. Now, once you got the bolt out, you're going to want to find a good ground point somewhere on your antenna. You can put it in there, which is what I was going to do, but I'm not going to. You're going to want to put your bolt, and I may have to drill a little bigger, but you can get it onto that and turn your bolt to the right, and make sure that you get it threaded on. Make sure it's going to thread on there. If you have to, you can put a bigger crimp connection on it. It'll work just as good. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to have to put some of your wiring into your, this is a little trimming housing. You're just going to put the wire into there, because you don't want this exposed on your windshield. And make sure there is no soldered wires anywhere, because that could also cause a problem. So next thing, you're going to run around your wire to your antenna. Then turn your crimp connection around, and you can put it over, you can put it under the antenna. It does not matter. As long as you've got a good, grounding point, you should be fine. Having a hard time getting this in there, and I just figuring out. I'm just gonna put it on the top because that makes it a lot easier for me. And since it's already grounded to the antenna, it's gonna make my life a lot easier, because having to get it underneath your antenna, you're gonna have to lift it. So if you're having trouble, one thing I would probably do, you can probably take the 3 bolts out and just lift it, because sometimes that can be easier to do, but in other times it could not work. And so one thing you're going to want to do is put that in, make sure it stays, and then you're going to want to take your 7mm and you're going to want to turn it to the right. Make sure that crimp connection stays in place. Now you may have to put, if your squealing is still there, what I would probably do is get an antenna base for it. That's easy to replace, but then you're gonna have to figure out where it's gonna depend on what kind of truck you have, because sometimes it can vary. So make sure that you have an owner's manual or something like that. Follow your instructions and make sure that you know where you're. But I think this crimp is going to go on like it's supposed to. I think this is going to solve our squealing on our AM band. If your squealing is still there, I probably would just replace the base, because sometimes they can't. Sometimes these bases can't be fixed, so you have to figure out, and you're going to want to turn your crimp of your wire to get it good and snug. Don't over tighten it, because you can break your crimp. There we go. Just like that, you have your antenna installed. One thing I would do, the next part you're going to do, it's perfectly straightforward, but what you can do, if you're having trouble with your antenna, what you can do, say if this does not work, you can always get another antenna base. So that way we're connected to 2 antennas. And you can always move it around if you're not getting a good signal in this spot. You can move it over here if you want, and that will get more of your reception. But that's easy and straightforward how you do it. So that's how you put it on. You can also put it on the other side, but you'd have to lift up your antenna and then put it underneath, and then put your bolts in, and then do it that way. But I'm just going to put it on top just to try it, see what happens, and always check your wiring underneath your trimming portion right here, because that wire can get moisture in it. So make sure that you always have a good nice trimming right here on this side here to put your antenna. Make sure that this wire is going down from your base down here to your antenna. This just connects. This is just a secondary antenna is what this is. If it's cracked or bent, don't put it on. Just make sure it's got a good straight connection, because that's going to, what this is going to do, it's going to send an AM signal to your broadcast tower, whatever you have, whatever station you have. It's going to send it off this antenna right here. So I hope that solves our base on antenna. I hope this solves our AM squealing problem, because I don't want to just put that on there for nothing and had it not fixed. So I'm gonna hope that fixes it, and hope we'll move on. So I hope this video was helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe.